Nice to see you. I am Jill, founder of Kids Baking Club, also part of Today's Creative Food. I am starting a new virtual online teaching kids how to bake because most of our kids are going to be e-learning, right? Where I live, all the kids will not be going to on-site school starting this fall. They are actually going to be e-learning at home, and I wanted to create a home ec type of class for kids. So join me, keep coming back to Today's Creative Food because I'm going to be teaching kids how to bake life skills, math, science, literacy, social skills, team building, planning, and the best part is they get confidence. And we want to help our kids right now. So keep coming back to the channel. The best way to do that is to hit the subscribe button and then the notifications, and then every time we have a new video for our kids and parents and grandparents, this will be here for you. So we are starting this series off with brownie cupcakes. It's like the best of two desserts, right? Brownies, cupcakes, all in one, yum yum. Makes a decadent chocolate brownie with the cupcake, cake-like brownie in a cupcake pan. So it's really, really good. You guys ready to get started? Okay, so let me tell you, one of the things I teach the kids is take, make, bake. First, you take out all of your ingredients, all your tools, you make the recipe, and then 3, bake, you bake the recipe, oh, of course, and you get to enjoy it as well. The eating part is the funnest, and kids love when they get to show it off, and that's what we want to teach the kids too. So kids, join me. We are going to make brownie cupcakes today. So let's take out the tools. We need 2 bowls. This is a 2-bowl method. We need spoons, and if you have a whisk, we need a cupcake pan, and it's best if you can oil it ahead of time using some oil or a non-stick spray to go ahead and oil it a little bit so they pop out and taste yummy right out of the oven. You need a ½ stick of butter, half a cup of sugar, ½ cup of brown sugar, 2 eggs, vanilla, 1 cup of flour, ½ cup of unsweetened cocoa, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and if you want to add a little extra, you can put 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips or milk chocolate either. If you want to get the printable recipe, just go to kidsbakingclub.com and click the blog. And up there you will find brownie cupcakes, and I have a printable recipe for you to print out and you can make it at home. Let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start with our big bowl over here. I'm gonna set this over here right now. And this is our 1 stick of butter, which is a ½ cup. And we want it room temperature, meaning that we want it to be soft. And you can see right here, it's nice and soft, which is perfect. If you forgot to put your butter out to room temperature, you can microwave it for about 10 seconds and it will soften your buddy for that. Don't do it much longer because then you're gonna get melted butter, totally change the recipe. I'm gonna add a ½ cup of sugar. Go ahead and stir that. You can use an electric mixer with this, but I wouldn't. I think the best part is getting your hands in there and stirring it so you can see it, right? Now we're gonna do a ½ cup packed in here and dump it out. It looks just like a sandcastle when you pack it in there. Now the eggs also, I put these eggs out for about 20 minutes because I want everything that I'm putting in together to be room temperature. I don't want cold eggs, cold butter, because then it's not gonna mix as well. So I'm gonna go ahead, take my 2 thumbs, open it up, plop it in there. If you get an eggshell in there, that's fine. You just make sure you get it out. And you always wanna dry your hands off after you've had eggs on it. And then before you put your hands in your mouth, you definitely want to wash your hands when you have raw eggs around. And now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Love the smell of vanilla. And put that in there. And always put the top on. I have spilled an entire jar of vanilla on the ground. And vanilla's not cheap these days. So this is my liquid now. Now I'm gonna go to the next bowl, and this is going to be my dry ingredients, because I wanna make sure that all my ingredients, the dry ones, are mixed really well before I put it into the liquid. And I'll tell you why. So I'm gonna put the flour, which is 1 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. Don't eat that, it's not gonna taste good. Doesn't have sugar in it. And 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Now it's really important when you add dry ingredients that you mix them really well before you add them to your liquid. And the reason why is you don't want spots of baking powder or like a chunk of the cocoa powder. And that's what happens when it gets into the liquid. If it's not all mixed together, it does that. All right, we are going to add this now to our liquid. Go ahead and pour that in. And go ahead and mix it. And this would be the good time to turn your oven on. You need a preheated oven for 350 degrees. And why preheated? Do you guys know why? Right, because you always want to put your baked goods in an oven that's already ready to start baking, especially with an ingredient like baking powder. It wants to start working right away. The minute that this got into the liquid, it's starting to go, why am I here? Let's get going, what are we doing, right? So I've got it nice batter. And now I'm going to add the chocolate chips. This just gives it more yumminess. Just go ahead and blend those through. If you're using an electric mixer, this would not be a good time to use it. You do want to get a spoon because you don't want to chop up those chocolate chips unless it's on a really low speed. All right, so when this is all done, I'm going to set all this stuff aside and get my cupcake pan. You can see I oiled it here. And you're just going to take scoops. Little scoop here. And just keep scooping. You want to fill it up to probably about 2/3 high in the cupcake pan. Because it's a denser dough, it's not going to rise like a real cupcake that has more eggs in it. So it can go a little higher than a regular cupcake recipe. Okay, these are gonna go in the oven, preheated oven, 350 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes. At 18 minutes, I want you to turn the light on, and if you see your brownies starting to crust a little bit higher, then you know that it's ready to come out of the oven. If it looks like it's still a little glossy on top, it might need a few more minutes. Okay, are you guys excited to make this recipe? I'm so excited. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the notifications, and then I will see you next time because we're gonna bake this year and learn all kinds of fun stuff while our kiddos are at home. All right, thanks for joining me.